Hi and welcome to Penser Bank and our analyst presentation of fingerprint cards. My name is Markus Almerud and I'm an analyst here at the bank. So fingerprint cards or Fingerprints is the leading producer of capacitive fingerprint sensors to mobile phones, PCs, smart locks, debit and credit cards, among others. We have a fair value range of 26 to 28 krona compared to the current share price of just over 8 krona. So the share has been very weak in the recent turbulence. And the company just released Q2 numbers, which warrants an update. And I will touch upon three things. I want to start with the sharp fall of sales in the quarter. I will then talk about sales outside of mobile. And I will finish off discussing why it's worthwhile taking a look through the turbulence. So starting with the fall of revenues in Q2. Sales fell 28% organically over Q1. Which was entirely on the back of the collapsing smartphone sales in China, as the zero tolerance towards COVID-19 closed down China for most of the quarter. Now, Fingerprints is geared towards the Chinese producers who have roughly a third of the world market. And looking at smartphone sales fell 27% year to date in January to May, with a 41% drop alone in March. On top, you had inventory drawdowns across the value chain, which led to the suppliers suffering even more than the above stated numbers. So this is brutal, but it's also temporary. So looking at the shipment trends, it's clearly inflected positively. Anecdotal evidence also points towards June and July being better than May. And this is important. So with the caveat that we don't know anything about future potential lockdowns, the worst is behind us. And that is always interesting when it comes to timing or buying stocks. So with mobile taking a big hit from the closures in China, we continue to see notable growth in other segments, of which PC and access were the most contributing ones. Other segments accounted for 10% of sales in 2020 and 2021, and the guidance now is that sales outside of mobile will account for 25% of sales in 2022 and more in 2023. So this is positive as the gross margins are higher and the Chinese dependence becomes smaller, which diversifies the risk. I want to focus a little bit on PC. So shipments are falling in PC as well. Gartner is looking for 9% fall in 2022 over 2021. But fingerprint sales are still growing rapidly as penetration rates are increasing. So it's currently at 20%, the penetration rates, and we expect them to reach 50% by 2026. The 6 largest PC manufacturers have 85% of the market. So the market is consolidated, and out of those 6, 4 have already incorporated fingerprint technology in some of their models. On top of that, Microsoft is pushing for biometric authentication in order to get away from passwords. And this all means that this is happening. It is not a might happen, it's happening. So what does all this mean? Well, we expect revenues to grow from 1.4 billion last year to 6.6 billion in 2026. With the largest contribution coming from what we think is the next mass market for sensors, biometric debit and credit cards. But I'd like to stay a bit on PC and mobile. So we value the capacitive sensors sold to mobile phones to around 6 krona per share. This is a mature market where Fingerprint is market leader with over 30% market share. We believe that gross margins are 25–26%, so it's a profitable market. The 6 kronas we're looking for account for 75% of the current share price, 75%. Moving on to PC, we value PC to 10 kronas per share. This market is not mature and the penetration rates are not there yet. But it's a concentrated market, as I said, and everything points to the participants in this market really wanting this. Hence, the probability that this will happen is quite high. So these two segments alone are hence worth twice the value of the share price today, and then we haven't even touched upon access or payments. So I think we are at a very interesting crossroads. The share has reacted very strongly on temporary events, and PC, where we see high probability that penetration rates keep coming up, grows very strongly. It's definitely worth to have a look. Thank you.